236s are great kilns if you're trying to up your game. They're a nice kiln in between a production scenario of a 28-inch kiln, and they're much bigger than the 184s, which allows for more people to get into firework together. So if you're setting up a studio and you want to have classes, you want to have other people coming in, a 236 is a good starter kiln for that. If you're anticipating that you're going to have a lot of people in a lot of classes, the 286 might be the way to go just because of the extra space there. Both of those kilns run on the same amperage requirement, so if you do buy a 236 and you decide later that you need to upgrade to a 286, you'll already have the electrical requirements in the wall. They're almost identical, so you don't need to upgrade anything there. If you do start with a 184, those ones run on 30 amps as opposed to the 60, so you'd have to upgrade for that. These ones are nice. I like them because one thing I like about them that's different than the 28-inch, because I feel like I'm going to fall in to the 28-inch because it's just so large. And while that's great if you have a lot of work, this is a lot more compact for fitting it into your studio. So the issue there being this one's big enough that you can get a bunch of work in there, but not so big that it's taking up a lot of square footage in your studio. So you have extra space to move around and, you know, work on other tools like a slab roller or a extruder, depending on what kind of projects you're thinking about doing. I mean, ideally, you'd have this kind of set aside. I like to put them out in garages because I can vent them very easily with just opening up a window or something like that. And there's also the vent master, which we can drill the holes into it. That'll suck all of the stuff down through your kiln, which also makes it a nice little bit more even firing. And you can hook that right up to like a dryer vent and get that out of your house pretty easily that way. Other things I like about the 236 is that it just looks nice, right? With the lid brace bar. What's great about the 236 is that it's small enough so that when you're closing the lid, that's not a whole thing. The 28-inch kiln is 28 inches across, so that lid is significantly heavier. Even with the lid brace bar, or the lid assist rather, helping you out, it's still some considerable heft to it. So that's what's good about the 23, is that it's easy enough to open on your own and kind of work as a personal kiln. It's a lot more compact is basically what I'm getting to you in so many words. It's in there, you can fill it. The other benefit of this is that it's going to go super fast. The 236 models particularly fires faster than the 286 just because of the smaller area that it needs to fill. So it makes it like when you're doing your firings, they're going to be faster than they would be in the larger kiln, just by nature of, hey, it's a smaller space that we have to heat. If you have the electrical requirements for either of those kilns, this is a really good starter one to kind of gauge whether or not you want to invest in the larger, more expensive kiln. It's cheaper because it's smaller and there's less stuff that needs to be made for it to go into there. Specifically, less bricks because it's a smaller kiln. But again, still the same bricks, still 3 inches thick, still getting all of that insulation. We use Kenthal wire in all of these things, so you're gonna get a lot of firings out of those. You can think of those akin to like miles on the road, like how many firings have you done? And after so many miles or after so many firings, then it's time to change those out. And what's good about our kilns is that there's not a lot of frilly frou-frou nonsense. Let's wind that one back. What's good about our kilns is there's not a lot of extra bells and whistles on the inside that you need to take off if you want to try and change those elements yourself. It's really only take the box off, here are the 4 elements, and you can replace them easily enough yourself. Down in the description, we'll have a link to how to do that as well.